You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
It's that time of year, red tide back on the Suncoast, how it's affecting some area beaches. Happening today, Sarasota police will hold another Stop the Gun Violence Forum in Newtown. And with summer starting next week, what you can do to protect yourself from those mosquitoes. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning. It is Thursday, June 14th. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is off today. John Scalzi's in place with the details of today's forecast. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Ray. Yeah, I think we're going to see today be very similar to what we've seen over the last several days. We'll have a pretty quiet morning commute, I think. We have one lone shower right now just off the coast. It's kind of in the dying stage, though, kind of fizzling out as it moves slightly to the north, slightly to the east, and really won't present too much of a problem for anyone. Perhaps Siesta Key down to Osprey may see a little bit of light drizzle in the air in about half an hour or so, but even that is doubtful. So a pretty quiet start to the day, but then by afternoon again, showers and thunderstorms will start to form in inland areas. Good chance of that. And some of the storms could produce some fairly heavy rainfall. We have some cloud cover kind of streaming across the state this morning, but we'll have a lot of sunshine as well. And as far as the forecast goes for your commute this morning, looks good. No inclement weather boxes checked. Right?
Very good. Talk to you again soon. Checking first alert traffic now. We'll find out there's already some congestion on State Road 70 in the eastbound lane as you head between 301 and State Road and Interstate 75 rather. Otherwise all clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south now into the northern half of Sarasota County. So far so good. All clear right now. And then checking our final maps to the south. Nothing to speak of right now at 5:01 on your Thursday morning. Venice police are trying to find this car burglar. Police released this surveillance video right there showing somebody trying to open cars just after midnight back on May 27th. The cars in the video were locked, but police say others in the area were not and had items stolen from inside. If by any chance you recognize this person trying to break into that car, call the Sarasota County Crime Stoppers. Farther north, police trying to identify this couple wanted for a burglary in Bradenton. Look at your screens now. Police shared these photos of a man and a woman on their Twitter page. They say the two are connected to a burglary of a Bradenton business. They didn't elaborate which one or when it happened. If you recognize this couple, you're asked to call the Manatee County Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. Red tide is back on the Suncoast and it's affecting some area beaches. It's a toxic algae bloom which can kill fish and affect people with respiratory issues. Hundreds of dead fish and other sea creatures are now lining area beaches like that one right there. Experts from Mote Marine say it's a little early in the season for red tide. Usually it starts around September. It's not known how long it'll stay around, but it's still safe to use the beach and be in the water.
Red tide can be very patchy, so it's very difficult to say that it's, if it's high at one beach one day, it might be low there the next day and high at a neighboring beach.
It's concerning because this is the #1 beach, right? The sand is beautiful, it's cool, it's not hot on your feet, and to see this is pretty sad.
Right now, red tide levels are low to medium at many of the beaches in the area, including North Lido, Siesta, and some locations in southern Sarasota like Venice, and also southern Manatee County, mainly the Bradenton Beach area. The official start of summer is 1 week from today, Thursday, but mosquitoes are already arriving here on the Suncoast. The annoying pests can ruin an outing and leave you itching for days. Sarasota County's Director of Mosquito Management has some tips on how to protect yourself.
If you want to stay safe from mosquito disease, the first thing to do is don't get bit. And that involves, of course, the stuff which hopefully everybody has heard and taken to heart by now, which is remove all the containers and anything that holds water around your house. Wear repellents, specifically ones that are endorsed by the CDC, proven effective. Cover your skin with clothing, loose, light-fitting clothing.
We've had a lot of rain recently, but so far Smith says we have not seen the mosquito population increase significantly. The official first day of summer is a week from today, June 21st. Agriculture Commissioner and candidate for Governor Adam Putnam is defending his department's breakdown in reviewing background checks for those seeking concealed weapons permits. Putnam says his agency acted properly after learning it had failed for more than a year to conduct background checks. An Office of Inspector General report shows that between February 2016 and March 2017, the department did not access an FBI crime database because an employee was unable to log into the system. Due to this, enhanced background checks were not done on 365 applications. Of those, nearly all, 291, were later revoked once the proper checks were done.
If any of the 291 had committed a crime while in possession of that CWL, we would have been made aware of that, because depending on the crime, they would have had to have that revoked.
Putnam says his immediate focus is on making sure this mistake does not happen again. Construction continues on a new baseball complex in Northport, and now you can see the progress. A launch party is held this Saturday from 9 to 1 at George Mullen Activity Center in Northport. There will be food and games and renderings of the new stadium and a chance to buy tickets for future Atlanta Braves games.
And there's many perks and benefits to the season ticket, whether it's movie night or kickball night or whatever happens at this stadium.
The stadium is set to be complete by the end of this year. The Braves will play their final game of the 2019 spring season at the new field next season. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Antarctica is melting. How this will impact us in the future and the huge amount this could cost the U.S. And later in the hour, one airline will soon be offering new flights from North Carolina to Florida. We'll tell you where. First, here's a shot of our nation's largest city. There's Manhattan at 5:06 a.m. Pretty shot there of the very busy skyline. Looks like another dry day in our area, John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed. I think we'll start off the day dry anyway, but then as we head into the afternoon, more showers and thunderstorms in inland areas where there were some pretty good downpours again yesterday. 10% chance during the morning hours, that's about it, followed by an increasing chance by 3 p.m. at 30%, and that'll be mostly in inland areas. Red tide, as we mentioned earlier, has its effect from Lido Key southward mostly, with Venice and Minnesota beaches both reporting moderate irritants in the air. We'll have a complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Now your ABC 7 first weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So through the morning hours, we have only slight chances of rainfall, put it at about 10% as our temperatures climb to about 74. Then as we head into the afternoon, once again, just like the last several days, we'll have those showers and thunderstorms build along the sea breeze front in inland areas, and some of them could produce a fair amount of lightning as well as some pretty good downpours of rain, so we'll watch for that. Otherwise, that's it on radar. That's all we got this morning. That one little lone shower, which is actually in the process of decay, so I doubt it even makes it to shore, but if it does, it would probably be between Osprey and Siesta Key as just a light patch of drizzle more than anything else. But it's in the process of falling apart, so we're not too terribly concerned about it. Otherwise, everything looks pretty quiet across the area. Now, we still have this trough of low pressure located to the north, this frontal boundary that's going to trigger off showers and thunderstorms, and back to the west, perhaps even some flooding rains on the western northern tier. High pressure for us still remains our dominant weather feature, nosing right into the Gulf waters, where there's going to be hardly a shower in the Gulf. For us, everything hinges on that sea breeze front building in the afternoon and taking advantage of the moisture that's in place. We'll watch it start to build these showers and thunderstorms, some of which can produce some pretty good lightning pops and some pretty good downpours of rain as well. And then as we head into the later evening, as the sun begins to fade, we'll start to see these showers begin to dissipate. Some of them may try to work their way back toward the coastline, just as we saw yesterday. The pattern remains basically unchanged for the next probably 5 days or so, 4 days or so. So we have mostly inland storms in the afternoon. We have partly to mostly sunny skies, depending on whether you're inland or right along the coastline. More sunshine right along the coast. And the tropics are staying calm, which we're glad to see. Not a whole lot happening here that's going to involve the state of Florida. We'll hardly notice anything going on with the tropics, except that we might get a little bit more moisture here as we head into Sunday, I think. Right now, this area of disturbed weather producing a lot of rain showers over the Yucatan. Chance for formation of this system is about as low as it gets, 0% over the next couple of days, and maybe 10% chance as we head into the next 5 days, and this system kind of emerges out over the southern Gulf waters. But even that is a pretty good stretch. We'll see a lot of these showers and thunderstorms begin to actually merge with tropical moisture coming up from the Pacific and eventually produce some pretty good rainfall right along the Gulf Coast, the western Gulf Coast of Texas, and perhaps parts of Louisiana as well. So some good rainfall there. As far as Florida goes, we might tap into a little of the moisture and up our rain chances slightly as we head into the weekend. A little trough of low pressure may develop as well. But I don't really expect to see much in the way of any kind of heavy torrential downpours of rain. That's really not going to happen this weekend. Just a little enhancement of our rain chances. We'll watch all of that moisture kind of lift northward and move into the western Gulf Coast, producing some heavy rain. And then for us, maybe a little bit better easterly wind flow might help to encourage a few more of those showers along our west coast as we head into Sunday and Monday perhaps. So that'll be nice to see. We could use the rainfall certainly at this time of year. Southwest wind coming in at about 5 to 10 today. Nice day out on the waters. Light chop on bay and inland waters to smooth conditions. 2-foot seas. So all in all, pretty nice day to be out on the water. And the forecast shaping up like this. We'll have today a daytime high that tops out at about 90 with a 30% chance of rainfall. And then over the course of the next couple of days, we'll watch a 20% chance of rain on Friday and Saturday about the same. Daytime highs will be warm, coming in near 90, And then as we head into Sunday and Monday, maybe we'll up the rain chances just a little bit with some of that tropical moisture heading our way, and kind of keep it at about 30% as we head into next work week. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. We'll see if there's still a slowdown there on State Road 70. No, that has since relieved itself. You'll see there up by Manatee Avenue West, a little blip there as you approach downtown Bradenton. Let's check the northern half now of Sarasota County. Nothing in the red. Little spot there actually on Clark Road eastbound around, say, Beneva or toward McIntosh. Otherwise, all clear. And then our final map to the south will indicate all clear at 5:15 on your Thursday morning. Happening today, in the wake of a series of shootings in northern Sarasota, police will again hold a Stop the Violence discussion tonight in Newtown. Our Marla Spence has a preview live from the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex. Marla, good morning.
Good morning, Ray. This is the second Stop the Violence forum that'll be held here at the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex. The Sarasota Police Department wants to continue the conversation of gun violence since its last meeting in May. Now, both of those forums comes after a string of shootings in the Newtown community. In the last month, law enforcement responded to at least 7 shootings in Newtown since May 8th and at least 17 since the beginning of the year. Chief Bernadette DePino will focus on 5 primary areas to stop gun violence, which are legislative initiatives, mental health, education, community engagement, and also prevention. We had the chance to speak with Chief DePino, and she says today she will be sharing some information she received at a gun violence seminar last week in Washington, D.C. She says although Sarasota's crime rate is very low compared to other communities across the country, 1 shooting or 1 homicide is far too many.
Gun violence is one of those things that I just coming from the seminar recognize that it is going on all over the country. And that's what I'm hoping that by doing these different meetings and really analyzing gun violence, why it takes place, who's carrying guns, why they're carrying guns, will help us be able to try to mitigate the gun violence.
And that forum will start at 6:30 this evening and wrap up about 8 o'clock here at the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex. Chief DePino says during the last forum there was a good amount of community engagement, and she hopes that this meeting will be the same. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Marla, thank you. Happening tonight also, you can follow Sarasota Police as they patrol the streets. There'll be another Tweet from the Beat event at 8 o'clock tonight. They'll take you behind the scenes of their nightly patrol. In the past, they've discovered everything from drunk drivers to alligators in pools. That's tonight. Tweet from the Beat in the city of Sarasota. Actor Sylvester Stallone is at the center of a sex crime allegation. The Los Angeles DA's office is investigating a claim against the actor. The alleged incident happened with a woman he was dating back in the early 1990s. Now, a Stallone spokesman denies the allegations and calls it a smear campaign. He says Stallone and the woman had a consensual relationship, and the DA is trying to appease the Me Too generation with another sex assault case. There's no debate among the experts that ice sheets in Antarctica are melting. The question is, how will that impact us? Well, a group of 9 scientists who have spent decades studying the region published their thoughts in the journal Nature. The researchers looked ahead more than 50 years to 2070, and they painted 2 scenarios. One, if we do nothing to stop the ice melting, and another, if we reduce greenhouse gases to slow global warming. They say, if we do nothing, the scientists say the sea would probably rise about ½ a meter from the 2000 levels. They say this is irreversible, and the water rise would cost this country $1 trillion in damages. They say if we slow down global warming by reducing pollution, the team believes Antarctica will most likely look as it does today. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Apple making a change to the iPhone. Why law enforcement might not be too thrilled about this. That's in our Tech Bites report. And later in the hour, a sign is going viral on social media. The prank a husband played on a wife using their child. We'd like to show you live shots of various cities at this hour. This is the scene right now as you wake up in Atlanta, Georgia. There's the Skyview Atlanta Ferris wheel. That's 20 stories high in Centennial Park. It's 5:19 right now. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change. He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps.
2, 3, 4.
Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making a connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
There's a live picture of the Executive Mansion with the flag flying above. That was built in 1792, finished in 1800. There are 6 levels, 6 floors in the White House, 32 bathrooms, 132 rooms. There's some trivia to impress your friends today. It is a big day around the White House. President Trump is turning 72 years old today. He already began celebrating earlier this week while in Singapore. Singapore's foreign minister tweeted this photo of the president on Sunday with the caption, "Celebrating a bit early." No word on what his plans are today for the commander-in-chief in Washington. High above, a massive dust storm is causing some disruptions for NASA's Opportunity mission on Mars. The 15-year-old Opportunity rover last sent a transmission on Sunday. It is powered by sunlight, and the dust storm has blocked the rays, so Opportunity went into sleep mode. NASA scientists say once the storm clears, the rover should begin communicating again. Last time the rover lost contact was 11 years ago. The scope of this storm covers almost a quarter of Mars and has already gotten worse in the past few weeks. Another rover called Curiosity is on a different part of Mars and has not been affected by these dust storms. Well, back here on Earth, Apple's making a big change to the iPhone. So why is law enforcement concerned? Details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple adds a new security feature.
A new iPhone software update will cut off all communication through the USB port when the phone hasn't been unlocked for more than an hour. That change could stop authorities from accessing phones during criminal investigations, but Apple says it's blocking hackers. Amazon's Ring home security system will finally start shipping next month.
Ring Protect was supposed to be available last October. The company gained popularity with its video doorbell. The security system cost $200 far less than competitor systems. And if you're having trouble sleeping, try listening to this.
Maybe right in here, there's a little foothill lives right here. Just a little footy hill.
That's right, you can now catch some Z's thanks to legendary painter Bob Ross.
The website calm.com is using Ross's calming voice to create an audio series to help people sleep.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Lyrica.
To most people, I look like most people. But on the inside, I feel chronic, widespread pain. Fibromyalgia may be invisible to others, but my pain is real.
Fibromyalgia is thought to be caused by overactive nerves. Lyrica is believed to calm these nerves.
I'm glad my doctor prescribed Lyrica.
For some, Lyrica delivers effective relief for moderate to even severe fibromyalgia pain and improves function. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions, suicidal thoughts, or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these: new or worse depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects: dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
With less pain, I can do more with my family.
Talk to your doctor today. See if Lyrica can help.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, bro. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
With the Singapore summit now over, what this means moving forward. And happening today, Sarasota Police will hold another Stop the Gun Violence Forum. We'll have a live preview. And happening now, the Summer Circus Spectacular is back at Oslo Theater, but not for long, which you can expect. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Welcome back. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is off today. It is Thursday, June the 14th. Let's get to the forecast now. Not quite into the summer rainy pattern yet, John Scalzi.
Well, maybe not quite, but we're certainly well on our way. We have today, again, sea breeze-induced showers and thunderstorms building in inland areas. And along the coastline, maybe a less than average chance. We'll look for about a 10% chance near the coastline in the morning, followed by about a 30% chance inland later in the afternoon. Everything pretty quiet now across all area roadways. Should be a quiet commute. We have a little bit of cloud cover streaming by, and temperatures are generally about where they were yesterday, maybe a degree cooler. We'll look for a 30% chance of inland showers later in the afternoon. Back to you.
Again soon, checking first alert traffic. Some early buildup there on Manatee Avenue West in the westbound lane as you head toward the beaches. Also, State Road 70 is building again eastbound around Lockwood Ridge Road. Checking farther south now, the northern half of Sarasota County. Little blip there at 41 and Bay of Vista, right there at the Walgreens and the bank. Southbound lane, be aware of that. That should change shortly. Bayfront also congested right now for some reason. Southbound from the Ringling Causeway all the way to the 301 intersection. And then our final map to the south will show us nothing really in the red right now. An earlier issue on 681 has since cleared up. So now that the Singapore summit is over and the dust has settled, what happens next? Reporter Janae Norman has our story.
The Secretary of State is setting the record straight.
We believe that Chairman Kim Jong-un understands the urgency of the timing of completing this denuclearization.
Mike Pompeo is pushing back on reports by North Korean state media that Kim Jong-un and President Trump agreed to a step-by-step process of denuclearization in exchange for sanction relief.
The sanctions relief cannot take place until such time as we have demonstrated that North Korea has been completely denuclearized.
The agreement was signed by the two leaders without detailing when or how the North would denuclearize. But President Trump still conceding to end military exercises with South Korea.
This is not the art of the deal, but it seems to be the beginning of the art of concessions.
Also not clear how the U.S. will verify North Korea dismantled and destroyed its nuclear arsenal and whether that's irreversible. But President Trump optimistic when speaking with Fox News.
So verification, you're confident you can set up the system?
I'm totally confident. And if we can't have a deal. I mean, we have to be, it has to be verified.
And despite previously denouncing Kim Jong-un's human rights record, President Trump now softening his stance.
He's still done some really bad things.
Yeah, but so have a lot of other people done some really bad things. I mean, I could go through a lot of nations where a lot of bad things were done.
During his State of the Union address, President Trump said no regime has oppressed its people more totally and brutally than North Korea. But fast forward just 5 months, and he has continued heaping praise on Kim Jong-un. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
All right, 5:32 now. A series of car burglaries around the Sarasota Bayfront and also Coquina Beach has police reminding you to lock your cars and remove all valuables. Sarasota police say at least 10 victims reported car break-ins yesterday, at Marina Jack and Bird Key Park just across the Ringling Causeway. Windows were smashed and valuables were taken. Also, a viewer called us about a theft that she experienced just north of Longboat Key in Coquina Beach. She says her car was locked and the thieves still broke in and stole her purse. Police remind you to hide anything you choose to leave in the car. For the first time, Sarasota County's school district has a police chief. They offered the job to a college police chief from Southern California. This is Paul Grohowski. He has 22 years experience in law enforcement. He'll oversee the new force, which will include 3 sergeants and 21 school resource officers. Grohowski comes to Sarasota from Allen Hancock Joint Community College in Santa Maria, where he protected 4 college campuses. He previously worked for the Port St. Lucie Police on Florida's East Coast from 2002 to 2015. The superintendent says he likes his new chief's background.
Having worked at a community college and a sworn law enforcement agency as part of an educational institution, but also having worked out in that public sector in a public police department, understanding kind of both sides of that equation, that had great value to me.
Grohowski still needs to pass an intense background investigation before they can hire him officially. The school board also has to approve the decision as well as at the upcoming meeting on June 19th. Now, Grohowski was also a finalist for the job of Northport Police Chief. That job was announced yesterday. The city manager says that this man, Todd Garrison, has accepted the job and will now go through his background check and his physical exam. He'll likely start, if things go well, in the next 30 days. Now, Garrison is a third-generation cop who's been with the Lee County Sheriff's Department since 1994. His starting salary in Northport would be $125,000. After losing money each year for the past decade, the city of Sarasota is still going ahead at spending millions of dollars in improvements to the Bobby Jones Golf Course. Now, the first of 4 public meetings was held at Payne Park yesterday. Most of the attendees were in favor of spending $16 million to fix the course's issues. Staff says there are major problems there with flooding, irrigation, and the greens. The course has already used up its reserves of $2 million. In this past year, taxpayers also chipped in nearly $500,000 more to get the course in the black.
What's important to our citizens and our visitors, and to attract businesses and to attract people to move here, is the green space. We have over 300 acres of green space. Once we start chopping that up, repurposing it for whatever reason, we'll never get it back.
Now, if you missed yesterday's 2 meetings, there are 2 more today, one held at City Hall at 10 a.m. and the other at 5:30 p.m. Kim Kardashian and Alice Johnson met in person for the first time yesterday. The 2 women sat down for an interview with the Today Show. The reality show star met with President Trump earlier this month to campaign for Johnson's release from prison. Johnson served 21 years of a life sentence for a first-time nonviolent drug charge. She was granted clemency by the president only a few days after he met with Kardashian. Back in this area, happening now, the Summer Circus Spectacular is back at the Sarasota Oslo Theater. Professional performers from around the world will star for 7 weeks of shows. Sarasota's Circus Arts Conservatory and the Ringling have put on the Summertime Spectacular for the past 11 years to preserve the history and legacy of the circus. New this year, Summer Circus Spectacular, the patrons get $5 admission to the Circus Museum on the day they attend the show. Preview performances run through tomorrow at a discounted rate. The show itself runs through July 28th at the historic Oslo Theater located on Bayshore Road in the Ringling Complex. Spirit Airlines will soon offer new flights from North Carolina to Florida. Spirit plans to offer these flights twice a week from the Greensboro Airport to Tampa and Fort Lauderdale starting September 6th, and 3 times a week between Greensboro and Orlando starting on September the 7th. World Cup soccer begins today with the host Russia taking on Saudi Arabia. We also learned this week that North America has been chosen to host the World Cup in the year 2026. It'll be a joint hosting between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. The World Cup is the world's most widely viewed sporting event. The united bid by the U.S., Canada, and Mexico beat a similar bid from Morocco. The last time the U.S. hosted the tournament was back in 1994. Mexico 1986, and Canada has never previously hosted the World Cup. Still ahead, one man took his humor to a whole new level, and it's going viral on social media. The sign that's making many people laugh nationwide. That story's coming up. But first, here is a peek outside our window in the Rosemary District, looking sort of to the southwest at the Renaissance and Alinari, the Ritz-Carlton. I think we might see right in the middle there, you see the Ringling Causeway as well. Very peaceful time of day, John Scalzi.
Yes, it is. Very quiet out there right now. None of the inclement weather boxes checked this morning for your drive time forecast. Everything looks pretty good. Upper 70s on the way out, mid 80s on the way back. We hit 90 yesterday for a daytime high, and we saw showers and thunderstorms build. Same sort of thing again this afternoon. All of the hubs serving Sarasota International Airport, the major ones anyway, are running on time this morning. We'll have the complete forecast for you in just a few.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jaffe Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like. Then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face, in your face, in
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at pretty quiet conditions to start off the morning, probably a temperature of about 74 degrees as we head into 7 o'clock hour. But rain chances very minimal, only at about 10%. And as we head into the afternoon, our rain chances along the coastline don't go up all that much. We'll be at about 20% by noon and maybe 30% by 3 p.m. And those will be mostly around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor up through near Venice and then again around the mouth of Tampa Bay. Most of the shower activity will be inland if you live in Hardee or DeSoto counties or well inland parts of Manatee and Sarasota County. You might have a 50% chance of showers by around 3 p.m. Then as we head into 7, the showers dissipate. Generally try to drift back to the coastline. Some of them may reach the coast. Most of them will just fizzle out before they ever do. We're looking at Titan radar right now and seeing a few scattered showers in parts of the deep south. There's a frontal boundary located up there. We have a trough of low pressure located off the eastern seaboard. And we have a big ridge of high pressure sitting out in the Atlantic, nosing in across the Florida Peninsula. That barrel of high pressure is providing us with pretty light winds and will allow, with a little daytime heating, a sea breeze to develop, once again pushing shower and thunderstorm activity across the interstate. Got a few scattered showers out in Gulf waters. We've had those kind of persistent this morning, but they have not had much of a chance of making it onshore. They tend to just dissipate before they get close to the coastline, so we stay pretty dry this morning. Weather highlights for the day include that trough of low pressure located to the north. There could be some showers in and around the Atlanta area today. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, though, in terms of airport delays at Atlanta or Raleigh-Durham or Charlotte for that matter. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, kind of just again bisecting the state. We have actually a double barrel high, one out in the Atlantic and another center kind of located just off our coastline. The long and short of it is we get light winds today that are generally going to be out of the west. And that will allow for our showers and thunderstorms to build in inland areas once again along that sea breeze front as it pushes inland. And then those showers will tend to dissipate as they kind of try to drift back toward the coastline. And again, some of them may make it there. Some of them, most of them, will not. They'll sort of just dissipate in place. The forecast for the next couple of days, I think, is going to feature mostly those inland storms. partly to mostly sunny skies, and the tropics will remain calm as we head over the next several days. The only thing that the tropics may do is kind of inject some moisture into areas around the western Gulf Coast. I don't think we'll see a whole lot of activity here. The one thing it may do, though, is as it moves into areas around Texas, it might open the gates for a little bit of moisture located just to our north to sink southward into the state of Florida. And that would allow for perhaps some slightly better rain chances. But the chance of any kind of significant formation from this system is extremely low, even over the course of the next 5 days. So we will watch the increase in moisture produce the potential of some heavy rainfall along the coastline, stretching really from all the way to the southern coast of Texas through Louisiana. And in our area, we'll up our rain chances just a little bit as well. But still, our rainfalls will be pretty much on the light side, with the heaviest of the rain probably in the southern tip of the state. Forecast looks pretty quiet for us. We'll look at a southwest wind coming in at about 5 knots, switching to about 10 knots as we head into the later evening. We'll have smooth conditions on bay and inland waters and 2-foot seas. Pretty nice conditions out there. We'll have a 12:35 high tide, low tide at 9:21, and the forecast looks good. We'll have about a 89 or 90 for a daytime high today. Tomorrow, the next day, rain chances will hold at about 20% for those 3 days. And then on Sunday, maybe that little extra infusion of moisture will help to boost our rain chances just a little bit. And as we head into next week, our rain chances at about 20 or 30% still. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Checking first alert traffic now. Looking at Manatee County, nothing major so far. Just some small spots there on 14th Street West southbound. Checking the upper half now of Sarasota County. Some red there you'll see on as you head towards Siesta Key on the North Bridge. A little issue there as you get toward the bend at Heigl. Very dangerous spot, so do take it slowly. If you head there also, you'll see Fruitville Road eastbound, a little delay as you approach Tuttle. And checking our final map to the south, we'll see some problems developing now on 41 in both directions between the Nokomis and Venice area. In the wake of a series of shootings in northern Sarasota, police will hold another Stop the Violence discussion tonight in Newtown. Our Marla Spence has a preview live from the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex. Marla?
Good morning, Ray. The string of recent shootings in Newtown is now resulting in the second forum to continue the conversation of gun violence in the Newtown area. Last month, Sarasota Police Department responded to at least 7 shootings in North Sarasota, and this prompted Sarasota PD to try to figure out how to curb the issue and that gun violence in the Newtown community. Chief Bernadette DePino says the last Stop the Violence forum had a good amount of community engagement from those who live in North Sarasota and the Newtown community. She says she hopes today community engagement with people who live in this area will be just the same or better in hopes to getting guns off the streets.
What we want to do is we want to work with the community, have them help us identify the individuals that are actually committing crimes and that are carrying guns illegally, because most people in the community that have an individual that's carrying a gun illegally knows it. They just need to report it to us, and then we can work together with them to try to get that gun off the street.
And if you live in this community and you want to learn more on what's being done to stop gun violence, or you want to put in your input or feedback for that forum, you are encouraged to come right here to the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex between 6:30 to 8 tonight. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. An update now on plans to repair the Venice Fishing Pier. Big change here. A shortage of wood means the pier will go through another tourism season before it gets a permanent fix. After damage from Hurricane Irma last September, the pier had to be closed while its structural integrity was evaluated. City officials determined it could be repaired and reopened for this year's season, but it closed again for more extensive work. Now, the city says that Brazilian hardwood needed for the repairs is unavailable and could take up to 5 months to be delivered. So the city has decided to delay the pier repairs until after next April. Stay tuned on that one. An Arkansas husband wanted to make his wife laugh, and others laugh as well, when he picked her up from the airport recently. So he made a sign and had their 4-year-old son hold it up while she arrived at the gate, and it's gone viral on social media. Reporter April Baker has our story.
It's a sign apparently worth thousands of likes.
A last-minute thing right before I left work.
Brandon Nielsen making the sign out of cardboard and marker for his wife Barbara, who was out of town on a work trip. So on the day she was flying back into Fort Smith, Brandon gave it to his 4-year-old son Damon to hold while they waited.
Like, I didn't even tell him about the sign or what it said, because I figured he would, try to make a big deal out of it.
So Damon held it for his mom and everyone else to see.
I saw lots of laughter.
Yeah.
Except for me, who's rolling my eyes. Was not expecting that at all.
But we had to ask.
Has your wife ever been to prison?
No.
No. And it's not just the Nielsens laughing now.
We've had people from all over contacting us and telling us how funny it is and
friend requests.
It has been shared more than 100,000 times on Facebook with 55,000 likes and counting. And beyond the social media hype, this sign acts as a simple yet powerful reminder to all of us to lighten up. That's something the Nielsens want.
People have fun. Stop being so serious.
Yeah, get some humor in your life.
Well, Nielsen's sign-making days might not be over because his wife has another business trip coming up. We'll keep you posted. Oprah Winfrey's resume continues to grow. She is set to serve as godmother for a new Holland American ship. The media mogul will christen the ship that'll debut in December. Holland America says Oprah and her best friend Gayle King will join guests for a 3-day girls' getaway on the new ship in January. Sounds like fun. Hey, here's some fun. If you get a chance, do me a favor and check out my social media page on Facebook, Ray Collins, ABC7. You got a picture of John Scalzi from earlier this week that you've got to see. It got really chilly in our studio, and I want you to see a picture as to what he did to warm himself up. It's a great shot there. We're also on Instagram as well, so make sure you check us out on all our different social media platforms here at ABC7. 5:51 right now. Here is a live shot of your Capitol. Pretty shot there at 5:51. Looks like a kind of a hazy sky developing there. Temperatures in the 60s. We'll recap our day's top news headlines. One last peek at the forecast after this on Good Morning Suncoast.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
It's summer on the Suncoast, and you know what that means. It's Friday Fest season.
And you are invited. Join ABC7 for the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall's free outdoor summertime concert series.
Jam to dance music by Ja Movement on June 22nd. The Movement is sure to get you dancing.
With food trucks, beverage vendors, and more, it's the perfect spot to enjoy great music and a summer sunset over the bay.
For more information, go to this number or go to mysuncoast.com/FridayFest.
are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Here are some of the top stories today on the Suncoast. As you wake up, area police report a series of car burglaries yesterday around the Ringling Bridge, some incidents around Marina Jack and others across the causeway at the Bird Key parking lot. 2 police chiefs have been hired on the Suncoast. Sarasota County Schools have hired this man, Paul Grohowski, to lead its new school department. He last worked for a community college in Southern California. And Northport Police have chosen their new police chief. Todd Garrison last worked for the Lee County Sheriff's Office in Fort Myers. The previous chief in Northport retired earlier this year. Next hour, interest rates are going up for the second time this year, what this could mean for you. And Comcast is now in a bidding war with Disney over 21st Century Fox. Plus, eating while at work can make you gain some pounds. We'll tell you just how quickly your health can be affected. But first, one last peek at the forecast from John Scalzi.
Ray, thanks very much for today. Mostly inland showers, partly sunny skies, especially near the coastline, and calm in the tropics, but we could have some extra weekend rain. We'll talk about that coming up in about 5 minutes.
Thank you, John. Dividing California into 3 sections, changing the flag. It's our top story next hour. We'll talk to you then.